you didn't know about herself, but here's Belle.
All right. So I know she introduced me, but before I even go further into who I am and what I do, how many of you have heard what the mind and body connection is? What do you think it is? Can you just answer with one statement? Go ahead.
Well, for me, it's like physical healing and working on yourself and your mind's not right.
That's good. Yes. So that's what actually we're going to be talking about today. So my name is Belle Valladares. I am an integrative psychotherapist. So basically what that is exactly what you just said, is I work on the mind, right? Because it starts with the mind. What you think is going to be how you feel, and how you feel is how you're going to behave, how your relationships are going to manifest, how your life in general is going to manifest. So in my company, I'm actually, ay, gracias.
Water?
Yes, please, I'm thirsty.
She's dying and she's healing.
So, as I mentioned, so I founded Integrated Mind, and that's my company. And the company is basically about integrating your mind, integrating your body, and also connecting with that higher part of you. That could be your higher self, that could be the universe, or whatever it is that you might call it. But essentially, if you don't have that connection, everything else falls apart. So they're pillars. So that's kind of what I do. And I wanted just to take a moment, and I want you guys to close your eyes. And I want you to scan your body. So start from the crown of your head and slowly start noticing. Noticing what's going on in your jaw, your neck, your stomach. Even how you're breathing. Are you breathing normally? Are you breathing deeply? Are you breathing even a little bit with a little bit of speed? And even what thoughts might be coming up. So now open your eyes, and I want just a volunteer to tell me what they felt. Go ahead.
Fighting.
Tightness everywhere?
My kids.
So that right there is what I try to do. It's bridge, right, what is going in your body, what's happening in your body with what you're thinking. Can you remember what you were actually thinking about when you started to feel that?
Just darkness. Just dark, and I was
Just tight. Okay. So that's obviously accumulated tension and frustration and resistance to something. So when you start doing that and practicing that connection between your mind and your body, that's when you're going to be able to set realistic goals. That's going to help you understand a little bit about yourself. And when you understand about yourself, your relationships blossom because the awareness expands. So that is the first step, is noticing what's going on in your body, because we don't, right? We're usually like every day, we're getting in our car, we have kids, we have jobs, we have deadlines, we have stress. And we don't take that moment to bridge the gap between our mind and our bodies. So, did anybody say something? Oh, I thought I heard something. Okay. So what I want you guys to do, and I'm going to give you an example of how intensely what you think and how it affects your body. So I want you again to close your eyes, but this time, I want you to do something a little bit different. So close your eyes. And I want you to start thinking about a moment or an experience in your life that you do not like and never wish to experience again. I already see even the reactions of people when I said that. I want you to remember what you were smelling, what you were seeing, what you were feeling. And at the same time, I want you to notice how your body's reacting. Are you moving with a little jittery movements? Is your breathing going faster? So I'm going to give you 5 more seconds on you visualizing not a very nice experience in your life. And now I want you to take a deep breath in and then exhale for 6 seconds or longer than you inhaled. And now I want you to do is think of the happiest time in your life. Or think about where you want to be, who you want to be. And think about how that would look like. You could even think about the most peaceful, safe space that you have in your life. And look at the surroundings, what smells are around, what colors. Dive into that emotion, dive into those goals, that visualization, or that positive, amazing experience that you've had in your life. Enjoy it. And whenever you're ready, you can stay there for a little longer if you're really enjoying it. I would. Whenever you're ready, just open your eyes. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And I just want to know, a show of hands, if you noticed a difference between those 2 different visualizations. That's how powerful our mind is. Because our mind does not know that what you're thinking is actually real or not. So going back to the integration of the mind and the body, if you're thinking negatively, you're going to feel negatively, you're going to behave negatively, and your life, even though you want it to be amazing, is not going to move with the flow and the smoothness that we all want. Because your mind doesn't know that, I don't know, you went and you had a great breakfast today or not. It doesn't know. It doesn't know if it's true that when you call yourself, I'm not enough or I'm not lovable, if that's true or not. It's just going to make you feel like you're not lovable and you're not capable. So going back to what you guys were listening to before, the mindset and making sure that your mind is clear, making sure that your mind is really aligned with how you're feeling, because that's when the fruits are going to come out. So again, it goes back to connecting and taking those little brief moments to just see. Because sometimes your mind is fine, but your body is like on this right? So it's kind of going back, connecting with it, and really trying to understand what's going on. And I'm not going to go into that other tangent because a lot of our behaviors, actually pretty much 90% of our behaviors, are tailored to the programming of what we have and had during our childhood. So it's all subconscious. We're not even aware that we're behaving. That's why we all have different experiences, right? Because we've had different childhoods. So that's how it's going to manifest. But I don't want to go on that tangent because I could be here for I don't know how long. And I know she wants me to, have it a nice time. But anyway, so what I want to do next is really help you understand what's going on with your body when you're experiencing those anxious moments or those cortisol high levels, and you're just like, I don't even know, I can't even think, right? And that's your nervous system, and that is what controls your whole life. That is what prepares us for stressful situations like me being on here today. Okay?
Great.
Thank you. But it does, thank you. So Our nervous system is pretty much, it hijacks everything. So to understand it in a little very concise way, we have our nervous system and it does a rest and digest, which is a parasympathetic nervous system. And we have our fight and flight, which is our sympathetic nervous system. And the purpose of us as individuals and our ancestors, that those two symptoms were essential and still are essential. But we have evolved into a life that is with constant stimulation, constant responsibility, and no downtime. So what happens? Our ancestors are supposed to have the nervous system where if somebody's going to attack you, you're going to be revved up. The blood is going to go to your big muscles. In order for you to run, it's going to decrease the blood flow in the non-essential parts, for example, your gut, right? So it's going to give you that energy. You're going to have cortisol levels, adrenaline. You're going to be running and going and going. All you're thinking about is going to a safe space, which is exactly its purpose. But once they remove the threat, that safe space, you're supposed to relax. That's why when you're eating and you're digesting, you get tired because you're not going to be eating while you're somebody that's hunting you down. So our society now, we live in such a sympathetic nervous system state that we don't have those downfalls, right? So I want to give you some practical tools. So when you're out and you're having your regular day, and the point is stress is always going to be there. This is just our reality. But it's not about giving up. It's how do we manage the reality that we have and the life that we live and the responsibilities that we have. We have to be realistic. I'm not going to sit here and say, if you do these things, you're going to be happy-go-lucky. No, the reality is this is our life, and we have to learn how to manage it. So this is another exercise, and it's going to be a breathing technique. And the reason that breath is so important is that breath is like the commander of your nervous system. So if you're breathing slow and you're emphasizing more on your exhale, you're triggering your parasympathetic nervous system. So you're telling your body, hey, there's no threat here. You can relax. And we don't understand that because we're in such a rush. So I want to emphasize again to take those 5 minutes and connect with your body. So going back to the breath work, we're going to do a breath that is inhaling for 4, holding for 4, but exhaling for 6, and then holding for 2, and then inhaling 4, 4, 6, 2. So it's inhaling 4 seconds, holding 4 seconds, exhaling for 6, and then holding for 2 and starting the whole thing all over again. Okay? So let's close our eyes and let's ground ourselves and take normal breaths. And now I want you to focus inhaling deep for 4 seconds, holding for 4, and exhaling 6 through your mouth. And just do like 6 rounds of this. And then just start noticing if focusing on the numbers helps you. Emphasizing on the exhale. Noticing if your heart is slowing down. Then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Does anybody want to share what they felt? Calm? Yeah. So what you're doing is you're actually taking control of your body because you're becoming aware that you're excited and you're saying, hey, 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 I'm okay. And that's how your body's signaling to the nervous system. And this is very easy. You can do this in your car when you're in traffic. You can do this when you go to the restroom at work. I mean, it's very easy and it's free. It's free, right? Another grounding exercise that I always encourage a lot of my clients, which is, again, when you're feeling very overwhelmed and you kind of feel like you're all up here, is to try to find 5 things that you see around you. So right now you can pick 5 things that are around you. Then you think about 4 things that you hear, 3 things that you smell, 2 things that you taste, and 1 thing that you feel. So what that does is takes away with all of the thoughts that you have going on in your mind, and you're actually in the present moment. And you actually start noticing things that you didn't notice before. So those are all little practical tips that you all can use. Again, that is free. It's not complicated. You don't need to do much of it. But that help you connect with yourself and then understand what's going on with you. Because this step further, and I think that's where I usually come in, is why am I acting this way? Right? Is when you're in that moment of connecting and you're like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm just feeling dark. I'm feeling tight. Where is that coming from? Is that something that your body just recognizes from the past? Or after 90 seconds, if you're feeling what you were feeling, there's a story behind it that you're not even aware of, that is going on in your mind. And that's where I come in to help you understand what that is. And then you really get to know and understand who your authentic self is. Because like I mentioned before, if you don't have that connection with yourself, you have no awareness. And if you have no awareness, you don't even know who you are. You're just living your life with the conditions of life. So, go ahead. Oh, sure. So it's the grounding exercise of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's basically going through your senses. So 5 things that you see around you, 4 things that you smell, 3 things that you hear. You can use them interchangeably. It doesn't have to be, but it's just using your senses. So seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So is there any other questions that you might have? No? Well, I'm going to challenge you before I close on one thing. You guys are all here because you care about yourselves. You want to improve your life. So can I challenge you to take 5 minutes after today for the next 30 days and try these little exercises? Because I think, like I said, they're simple, they're easy, and they're only going to help you get closer to where you want to be. Okay? You're welcome.
Was that she great? Hey, she has a question. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Actually, espérate. Espérate. Yeah, espérate. Okay, so one thing that I actually didn't talk about.
Yeah.
My Instagram handle is My Integrated Mind, at My Integrated Mind. But the,
All together, right?
yes, obviously myself. Yeah, Integrated Mind. Yes. Okay. So that's my Instagram handle. No, it's just the way that I work is integrating your mind, your body, and your soul. This is obviously my practice, but because I'm so passionate about this, I have a podcast, and the purpose of that podcast is I bring in different guests that are in the community that really, their passion themselves is to help others, but they have different ways of doing that. So the purpose of the podcast is to bring people in so they can really share with our community their way of how to heal or help others. My Integrated Mind podcast. Everything is the same. So it's My Integrated Mind podcast.
Can you find it in the podcast app?
Yeah, so it's on YouTube and it's on Spotify. It's on both. And if you go on my link tree in my Instagram, it takes you there. Yeah. So I bring on, and actually I invited Amy to come on. We have to coordinate for that. But it's bringing people from the physical side and then bringing spiritual facilitators, holistic healers, because what might work for me might not work for everyone, or it doesn't work for everyone. So it's to introduce all of these individual amazing people and see who you connect with in order to get a deeper understanding of who you are and what you feel you need to heal and all of the different things that are out there, different people that are out there outside of just going to a psychiatrist or going into and getting a pill for something. It's again, understanding who you are, processing your emotions, connecting with yourself. So that's the purpose of that podcast. And then my website is www.myintegratedmind.com. What a surprise, right? So thank you guys do you have any questions? Anything else?
You said the briefing was 4, 4, 5 or 6?
4, 4, 6, and then 2. And the reason for that is we can do the box breathing, which is also beneficial, which is 4, 4, 4, and 4. But if you're really stressed, always emphasize more on your exhale. Okay, the more you exhale, the longer you exhale versus your inhale, the more your body is saying, okay, you're safe. Because remember, when you're stressed, you're like this.
Yeah.
Like, right? So it's always emphasizing exhale.
So what's the 2? So after you exhale, what's the 2?
So you inhale for 4, hold 4, exhale 6, and then hold for 2 seconds before you start your next cycle.
And then you do that for 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
Yeah. Try to do it for a minute. And meditation also, by the way, you guys, meditation, you don't need 30 minutes. You really basically need between 7 to 10 minutes. Anybody else?
Your consultations are in person or virtually?
I do both in person and virtually. My office is in Coral Gables. I do take insurance and I also do couch pay. So I try to work with everyone. I do. I'm in network with Aetna. I'm in network with Cigna. I'm in process right now with United and with, there's a new one that just came out. AvMed, no.
They do the
Yeah. So when I get United, I usually get Oscar and all of the other things that come around there. Yeah. I do clinical hypnosis as well, going back to the purpose of that is to get to the root of why you're behaving in a certain way. And that's usually due to a condition, due to an assumption that you made from a past experience, whether childhood or teenagers or whatever.
Take your time.
I know, I'm sorry. Okay, I focus so much on me, but again, Integrated Mind, my partner, she's a nurse practitioner. So she does a very big comprehensive physical. And what that is obviously she does your typical blood work, but she does a lot of additional markers that your primary care doesn't do, obviously because it's not covered by insurance. But they play a significant factor, again, in how you live. So she does a very in-depth lifestyle analysis, she does blood work, and then she does hair and mineral analysis, which is a 3-month kind of overview of what minerals you're deficient in, what is going on in your body that you need a supplement for. Because again, it's maximizing your physical self and maximizing your mental self and processing all of the emotions. So she handles that. We do IV. It's not as elaborate as them because we try to focus again on the mind and just maximizing the immunity of it. What else do we do? God, we have a mind spa, and that's beautiful.
That was so cool.
Yes. So the mind spa is, because I said to myself, okay, you come see me. I mean, I've gone to therapy. I think all of us, everybody in the world needs therapy, okay? So When you come out of therapy, it's not like you're like, yeah, I got out of therapy. What a great day. No, you're mocosa, you're crying, you're upset, right? So what I created is like, I don't want to send you off like that. Like getting in your car, you know, I don't want to send you off like that.
I don't like therapy experience, like I drink my therapy, sometimes I have to compose a hot mess.
Yes.
So I know that.
It hurts my heart that I'm like, listen, I have another client. You need to get out of here. So what I did is I created a space in the office, and that space in the office is really like dim lights, very soothing, very relaxing. You get on a recliner, and then I put on these specific headsets, and it's called Brain Tap. And the system is basically, it has different levels. Obviously, if you've never done this, I'm not gonna throw you into the deepest level, which is like kind of like a hypnosis. But it works on binaural beats, which is how we alternate both sides of what we hear. So that increases the connection between your left and your right brain. And then it has a guided meditation. And then it has kind of lights in the front of your eyes. Even though your eyes are closed, the lights are flickering to enhance the brainwave that the guided meditation is wanting you to get. And the brainwave, what I mean by that is when we are very high energy, we're in high beta. When we want to relax, we have to go down to theta, which is more relaxation. So what that headset does is through the lighting, the guided meditation, is it helps you get to a certain point so you can feel better. And through that, you're sitting on a PMF mat, you have red light therapy, and it's just a very relaxing experience. And it's only 25 minutes. So it's quick, you know, it's very easy.
Awesome. I think you covered it all.
Yeah, I think so. I just wanted to come in.
There's like a therapy.
Yeah.
There.